What's up, weebs? Today I bring you a fresh new anime video that dives into the world of isekai. And this is just weebs after waifus again, and let's get into it. So I just want to say I have a lot of characters that I love in many other shows I could list off, like Edward Elric, Tanjiro Kamado, Rimuru Tempest, Natsuki Subaru. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Just many other characters I love. Natsuki Subaru just makes he's just a different character, like a different, very different character that I've seen, and very developed, I think is the word to say, because he was a completely different person than what he was when he was first introduced back in 2016 when the first few episodes aired. He is completely different in season 2, and that's what I really enjoy about him, that he's like just his journey to where he has gotten to now. And I'm not only referring to many things, I'm talking about as a person he has changed. And that doesn't even, I'm not even referring to power or anything, because that doesn't really matter to me in the end. It all matters about development in the character, and he has had so much development. I could even say that one of my favorite characters is Kinoshita Kazuya. No, hey, I just think I relate to the guy a little too much, that's all. Anyway, I just wanted to say that as a writer, I love characters. I love writing. Been working on my novel, and it's going really well, and I really just like to see so many different kinds of characters. Seeing the different personalities and traits of the characters is what really drives me to watch anime most of the time. Whatever your motivation is to watch anime, we all still strive for interesting characters and a story like involving elements. ReZero does that exactly for me, and it's almost hard to put into words sometimes. Before I had even started the show a year ago, I thought it was going to be like one of those things that was way overhyped, because so many people just say like, oh, it's overrated, oh, blah blah blah, this blah that, you know, the actually meme, like actually, like literally though, that is people who like think it's overrated. They're like the actually meme. They're literally that. Boy, was I wrong though. Like literally I was so wrong. Like I'm glad that I just gave in and actually watched it. Just look at my girl. One thing that stands out to me when it comes to the show is the pacing. It is fantastic. Like, oh my god. It isn't too slow or at all or too fast. It goes straight for your jugular when it comes to getting to the point across. I love that. It gets me so good, especially when it comes down to what Natsuki Subaru's role is in this story. Subaru is definitely my favorite protagonist, and it's almost, and like I felt like when I was going to do this video, it was hard to explain why. Well, I asked myself this same question for so long when I just had truly enjoyed his character. Like, I didn't even truly care for his character even at the end of season 1. It's season 2 was really sold me on him. Season 1, yeah, he did become a lot better, but season 2, like, just the development really did. Why do I like his character portrayed so much? First, he was one of those obnoxious know-it-all gamer neats, you know, like, he wasn't the actually meme, but he could have been, you know? He was just gloating about being transported to, like, this parallel fantasy world, thought it was going to be amazing and all that stuff, but the moment he dies, he finds out about like return by death, and it changes him. Don't get me wrong here, I know for a fact that Subaru isn't my favorite character because of his ability. I highly doubt that. That is not what truly drives him. Now, it does change him though. Definitely return by death, I will not deny it, does change him as a character. In fact, I dare say he is such a great protagonist because he experiences this pain. Ever since the beginning of the show, he is continuously dying, but the thing is, he doesn't want to willingly die, and that really changes it. Because so many people say, oh, he could just die here, and that could change everything, blah, blah. Oh, what? I'm gonna stop you right there. Not everybody wants to die. Like, yes, there's those suicide people, and God forbid, you know, suicide is a terrible thing. From me previously having a girlfriend years ago, that would cut. Like, just... It is a depressing matter. Yes, suicide is a terrible thing, but most people statistically probably do not want to die. With me is, if the reason why I had felt this way and I didn't want to be on this world anymore, and what it all came down to is because I wanted people to care for me, that I wanted them the way to care for me, if that makes sense. I wanted them to accept who I am and care for me and enjoy the things I like to enjoy, and me enjoy the things they like to enjoy without getting hurt. It's really hard for me to explain. But in the end, it's one of those things where like you can't make it such a small idea. Like, it is actually a bigger picture than you think it is. Him in episode 7, when he first did the suicide, was such a turning point in the show, because he banked on the fact that he would respawn, but he didn't think he wouldn't know if he would. he doesn't know the extent of his own power. Not until season 2 when Hidona was like, okay, yeah, I don't think there's an extent to your power. If you pay close attention to how he acts when he's dying, he's desperate. He doesn't want to experience this pain again, and he doesn't want to die again. That's very obvious, especially in season 2, but it gets very obvious throughout the show, obviously. But his weapon is used to save people he cares for dearly, and it's a beautiful thing, actually. But what's really sad is his friends and the people he cares about, especially even Amelia, are dying in front of him multiple times. And that is what truly causes the trauma and makes him become this really tough and dependable friend to them up to this point where we're at. You know how your friends say they will die for you? Well, Subaru literally takes it to a whole nother level. Like, literally. Everything he does, the ranting about how he experiences pain to others, it is all because he is coping to deal with this pain that he's experiencing alone. Also, I love it when Subaru breaks the fourth wall. It is hilarious. Like, he's done that a few times, but I mean, mainly that one time in that first spaghetti, like, just stuff like that's hilarious. I love breaking fourth walls, so it's hilarious. Quite frankly, he is a comedic character as well, and I'd say he's very balanced. He doesn't do it too much, but I do think his jokes, where it adds to the story and actually does contribute to getting a little lighthearted, because sometimes this story can be pretty dark, like not very dark. There's definitely way worse out there. I'm not gonna give names, but I think we all know what we're thinking. He will consider returning by death, but then not want to die because he doesn't want to feel the pain of dying again. Like, I couldn't even imagine experiencing dying over and over again. Like, I wouldn't want to. It's rough. Like, here's the thing. Out of all the abilities in the show, I would not want to have return by death. There would only be one reason why I'd want to have return by death, and that would be if that was the only way I could save people in my life, then I would do it. If there was so many people in my life I could save that I've lost in my life. It's a risk-reward thing. But imagine the, like, turmoil and, like, mental stress he's gone. He's such a wholesome guy, too. Like, when he saved Amelia for the first time, like, he just wanted something from her, just her name. Like, that's all he wanted. Like, people were like, oh, he's a simp. But, like, yeah, I could see why you say that. But he was more of a Chad from the beginning. He didn't want, oh, I want to kiss her, I want this, that. No, he just wanted to know what her real name was. It's too bad he can't talk to anyone about Return by Death. That's funny, up until season 2, actually. When he tells Echidna, like, the witch agreed, she knows about Return by Death, and so does Rosewall. And it just really changes things, because, like, those were, like, the twisted versions of what he viewed as a father figure for Rosewall and Echidna, like, as a mother figure. Like, they were twisted versions of his parents because he had not seen them for so long. Now, it doesn't say that, but that's at least what I think. I think they were just twisted versions, because if you truly think when back into episode 14, when Straight Back came back, pretty sure it was episode 14, I'm just basically when part 2 came back, first episode, when Odo was talking to Subaru, he's like, you need to trust people. Do you not trust me? And, like, he's like, I did trust people. And then it's, like, showing images of Rosewall and Echidna. That really just shows that, like, how he had trusted them, but he lost that trust, especially Rosewall. Like, both of them actually about as equal, but Rosewall, like, really is trying to, you know, like, they have, Echidna and Rosewall have a big connection here, and that's exactly what I'm trying to get at here, is, like, that makes sense on why that is all happening. It's interesting to see how much they depend on Subaru to make things right with his ability. Also, I can imagine how sincere, like, Subaru can be. He tends to do something only in the moment, and when he wants it, he won't stop till he gets it. He actually likes to overexert himself so he can become better at something. Like, proof of this is when he first went to Rosewall's mansion and became a butler and kept trying to become good at the task, like, of just cleaning the mansion and peeling potatoes. Like, yeah, he cut himself continuously, but he still would do it. He likes to learn things he couldn't do. Like, it's just, so I truly like Subaru. He's a good character who wants to grow, not just from his, like, our perspective he grows, but he is a character who actually wants to grow and better himself. He knows he's becoming better, but he is also self-conscious at the same time. So that's why I relate to him as well, because I'm a pretty self-conscious person too. So even if I'm getting better things in life, it's hard for me to accept it, you know? And it's really shown in the episode before season 2 part 1 ended, where he was talking to Witch of India and all the other witches, the witches tea party. That was just all going on, and he was being shown that, like, he needs to not be so vile and really overuse Return by Death so he can love himself more. I found it, like, very appealing when they were showing that, because, like, he needs to truly realize that he needs to care for himself, like, more now, because he's not, and he's gonna lose his humanity if he doesn't. Yeah, you see characters doing that here and there, but for him to do that when he goes through so much sorrow and pain, it is bewildering. I know I can never pull off the things that Super has done, ever. At least I don't think so, because I have a problem with my self-esteem. But I admire him for all the efforts he puts into everything. Yes, everything. I think people who watch this show and love it for what it is don't dislike Subaru, because when they truly understand, like, how good of a show this is, they don't sure, Subaru might not be their favorite character, but they won't dislike him because they know how much of a contribution he has to the story. I mean, obviously, yeah, he's the protagonist, but yeah, he has a big contribution other than just being the protagonist. He might not be your favorite protagonist like he is for me, but he's definitely a damn good one. Well, guys, I hope my points were good. I was probably more or less rambling, or this might just pretty much just ramble. But if you like this video and wanted to see me discuss more anime in the future, just go on and ramble, or try to be a little more not so rambly about it than I can. You wanted to see more stuff like this in the future, just let me know. I'll do a follow-up on this video at some point, maybe even more about Re:Zero in Season 2 and how this all plays out in fruition. It's looking like it's a really good season. Season 2 is definitely, hands down, my favorite ongoing season right now in winter 2021. It's so good. But yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions, just go ahead and comment down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.